here we go. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review Episode 400! Yep, the 400th episode for this view series. Not episode 400 in the anime of this particular view series. As of currently, well, for the longest time until recently, this was the second longest series on my YouTube channel. That wasn't until Sentai broke that, basically, that said it surpassed that, and now this has officially become the third series to reach 400. Those of you curious, what could be possibly the next series at 400? Probably won't be Boruto at this point. Nope, won't be Boruto, because I think that was my second longest anime. I'd say, out of all the anime currently in view right now, I don't think it's Case Closed has not even reached 300 yet. Nope, definitely not Case Closed. Okay. How about My Hero? My Hero, not even close. What about Black Clover? Black Clover currently is just recently surpassed the review of 205. I mean, do I have any series I'm currently viewing right now? Well, it's not Black, because I can tell you that for sure. And it's not Black Butler. Bleach? No, Bleach not even reached 100. What about Fairy Tail? For Fairy Tail, that's only up to episode 83. Yep, 83. So, is there any anime that I'm currently watching that even... Like, I have a feeling over 200, yes, but none of them over 300. None. Out of all the anime I'm currently viewing, not even ReZero. ReZero got to like 76 recently. Not even Overlord or Razor Hero. Like, that's the thing with all my anime. That crap was so good. You might be asking, like, okay, what about Fire Force? Fire Force is only episode 68. Yes, 68. You're like, really? 68? Yes. Okay, what about JoJo? JoJo is up to 56. So, very few of my anime I've been reviewing since I've been reviewing anime. And as of this month, I have been reviewing this series now for 8 years. And this was recommended by my friend Edgar. And I have looked back on it. I still need to catch up with the dub. That's for sure. Plus, I do have a light manga to be reading soon. Hopefully, get him through that in the future. But that's the weird thing comes to my reviews. I mean, I have a handful of them over 200, but none of them over 300. This was the only one that reached even 300 episodes. Yeah, but 400? Yeah, this is the first one. Some might be asking, is there one even going to be close of 100? I'd say 300. I'd say next is probably Case Closed at this point. But aside from that, nothing much else, surprisingly. Yeah. A lot of everything else I've been reviewing in the last few years because a lot of this I was simply wrapped up. Not even Attack on Titan got this far. No. Never did. Those of you curious, like, okay, so how many episodes did Attack on Titan have, my review series? This overall had 58. Yep, 58. And unless they decided to adapt the prequel series, that's the last one. Yeah, that has 58. A lot of everything else usually is over 100, maybe 200, but not even 300. This is the only one to reach this far. And I at least gotta praise myself for this. I mean, my one of the highest number of episodes still today is my Comic Corner, and that's like over 3,000 episodes. That one is, and I've been doing that review series since late 2013. Yeah, almost 12 years now. I've been doing that one. This one I'm doing since 2017, but I'm still enjoying the series so far, and today we're only going to be reviewing episode 1135. Which is called To the Sea, Where My Father Is, the future Bonney chooses. This adapts the entirety of chapter 1101. As of this very episode, there are only 24 chapters left to be adapted for the whole thing. So, the episode that probably will be capping off, well, presumably capping off this arc, unless they double up the episodes, the episode number is probably going to be episode 1159. That probably the one basically reached that particular point. Yes, it probably will. And good thing there's an episode airing next week, and it has the shortest title of the whole series, which also the title of the chapter is adapting 1102, Kuma's life. So a lot of this episode is basically focused between Bonney and Kuma. Bonnie's involvement in the whole episode is this. We see her looking for letters from her father, which she's not receiving because Alpha's been confiscating them and tearing them up. And then she's like playing around with her friends at the church. And then Alpha sees her go big for like a brief second. And then eventually by her 9th birthday, her stones have disappeared. And then of course she argues with her like, I want to go outside. And she's like, no. And, well, then basically the group of her friends concoct a plan to smuggle her to have her escape from Silver Kingdom. By having her disguise herself because of her appearance change ability to look like the Queen Dowager. And of course, because Queen Dowager kind of definitely looks like her because of the same hair color. So she packs a suitcase and escapes with a local fisherman out to sea looking for her father. And basically the episode actually ends with her, well, you have Alpha chasing after her, and then of course you have Bonney, who by the way at this point is 9, becomes basically a teenager, and she basically develops Nika abilities, where basically she forms a version of the Gum Gum Giant Pistol. Well, the Gum Gum Giant Punch. And proceeds to punch Alpha right in the face, breaking her glass, cause her to bleed, and that's where the episode actually ends with. Kuma, in her hand, well, he arrives in the country where Luffy lives, and we actually see a young Luffy. 3 years prior to events of present day. 3 years. Because Luffy set out at the age of 19. So this is set 1 year prior to Luffy going out to sea, and mostly we see him practicing one of his moves, mainly the Gum Gum Battle Axe, which is a move he very rarely uses. Mostly it's the pistol or one of the other moves, but not Battle Axe. Battle Axe he very rarely uses, because he uses his punch a lot of the time. When you see a crocodile, and I think like a bear, or actually like a tiger just standing there, with the bumps in their heads, and they're just basically scared of Luffy. And Luffy said something, this is before his hockey activated, and we see him with his body covered like scars, which disappear by present day. I think he just may be dirty because he's very physically fit for a teenager. He's got a lot of muscle on him. We do see Kuma watching him. We do see a flashback of Kuma with Luffy's father Dragon, where he asks about it, but he doesn't want to go any further because basically he talks about how child is parents' weakness. And Then of course, he gets contacted because a merchant ship is attacked by pirates. So Kuma goes to the ship, says to take the guy to the hospital. He's told, "Oh, go out the pirates." He musts it really quickly because the guy's probably out of the hospital, and he takes his ship and finds the pirates. And as soon as they see Kuma, they immediately surrender. They're not killed; they just surrender because they're afraid of Kuma, which is referred to by the public as Kuma the Tyrant. But yeah, that's where his portion of the episode ends. Overall, this was one fantastic episode. Yep, and I loved it. And I can't wait for the next episode to air next week. And here's something interesting. This was the only anime airing today. Because last week we had the wrap-up of... Yeah, I think it was like last week I think this happened. Where we had extras about a week or two ago. We already had From Country Master Swordsman. That wrapped up. And the other one was I'm the Lord of Intergalactic Empire. By the way, this is the first time in quite a while that Sunday has only had just one anime. Just one. And as of currently, and I've been checking what's coming out soon, nothing is set to be coming out on Sunday. And I've read it here for some reason, because last season premiered on Sunday, but the current season is not doing that for some weird reason. I'm not sure why. That's premiering on Wednesday. I find that kind of weird. The fact that it's going on Wednesday, because that's normally a spot for ReZero, but my guess is ReZero is not coming out any more episodes this year. So I guess that they decided to put it on Wednesday. And it's kind of also weird, though, that anime is coming out, the ones I'm looking forward to watching, come either Wednesday or Thursday. I mean, right now, Friday only has one anime, and that's the Apothecary Diaries. And that's it. Once that wraps up, Friday is a free day for me. Yeah, Friday is free. As of right now, for new anime, there's nothing new until Wednesday. Because for the next 2 days, basically tomorrow and Tuesday, I got no new anime coming. But expect to see reviews for... I have a review coming Doctor Who. A couple bench watching animes to hopefully get through. And there's going to be a stream later on today, 8 o'clock, where my friend Jay and I are going to be discussing the Overlord movie that came out last November. But in the case of anything else happening today, well, there might be like 1 or 2 more videos coming today, but that depends, okay? But see you next video. Bye.